Okay, so OBS is recording. I have it in view of watch together.
We just started over
there. Wait, that's it?
Fuck it. Okay. All right. How about we all go around round table? Everyone's opinions on Maiden.
Okay.
You first, because it's your channel, James.
Oh fuck. Okay, here's the thing. I like Maiden. First 6 albums are great. 2 that came afterwards are pretty good. Everything else since is.
Here's the problem with Maiden. They were good, and then they were not good. That's the band.
I mean, honestly, and I do think Maiden are one of the most overrated metal bands of all time.
Okay. For me, the interesting thing about Maiden is that for a band with such a long career and such like a storied history, they've been really unique in the fact that they have literally no good songs.
And also another one of my opinions is Piano for Life. Piano albums are the best albums. And Priest is better to begin with, so listen to Priest. Nathan, what's your opinion on Iron Mardoon?
Okay, I'll try and be as quick as possible. They're my favorite band of all time, even though I don't really listen to them that much anymore, because I don't listen to that much metal anymore, but they're usually one of the first bands I go back to. I love everything that they did from the 80s, like No Prayer, Fear of the Dark, X Factor as well. I think their last album was Brave New World. They've just been kind of on a downward spiral ever since then. I mean, fucking, their worst album was Final Frontier. Book of Souls was okay, but it's aged badly.
Nathan and Druid are gonna fight constantly, and me and James will just be like, well, we'll be fighting too, but...
3, 2, 1. Oh!
Senjutsu is where Bruce Dickinson turns into a weeb for an entire album.
I'd prefer that. I mean, they may as well just get Christian to sing for Iron Maiden at this point. It's not much of a difference.
Oh my god.
God damn it, I'm not gonna survive if I keep drinking beer.
He actually sounds like Blaze here, I'm not lying.
Yeah, he actually... Okay, his vocals are bad. He sounds like he has a mouthful of food.
Bruce, the hot dog can wait. We need to record these vocals.
Wait, so there's only one official video on this album?
Yeah, one of them. And besides that, we get a whole bunch of flags.
We'll say one thing. I like how the keyboards are utilized. They're blended in well, and I like their tone.
You mean in the fact that you can't hear them?
I can hear them,
yeah, I can hardly hear them.
Okay, so they add to the sound rather than being a focal point.
Good. It's good that you can't fucking hear the keyboards. We need less of those.
I don't know, maybe it depends on what like headphones you're using as well, because that's a factor.
Here's the thing, from the first few singles, the mixing on those was not that great. And from what I hear of this so far, the mixing is not great either. James said that like they don't master their albums anymore. I can hear it.
And you know, on the last couple of Iron Maiden records we didn't even master it. Oops, there goes Lucasade. We didn't even master it. The records came out flat.
There's a clip, and you can add this in an editing. There's a clip of Kevin Shirley going, and the last few Iron Maiden albums came out flat. We didn't master them. Why not?
Like, if you don't master your album, it's gonna sound flat and bland. Like, it doesn't matter if you even use, like, a bunch of fucking analog tape recordings. Like, you're still gonna have a bland and flat-sounding album if you don't edit that shit.
Iron Maiden have not had a good producer since Martin Birch.
At least they're honest about how fucking lazy they are.
Yeah, but the thing about
they don't see it as laziness. They don't see it as laziness. They see it as, oh, we're too good for this kind of shit.
Right, like they have an air of like,
so the
we perform it so well that we don't even need to mix and master. It's like, wow, you just dug your own grave and shot yourself in the foot and bled out so you could fall into that grave.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, we talked about this a little last night, but Bruce Dickinson kept on set he blasted fans who just play almost nothing but classic songs. Saying like, stop taking advantage of your fans.
What exactly do you do? Yeah.
No. Even then, like, that's not taking advantage. That's pandering. Maybe it's not taking advantage of your fans. That's what your fans want to see. And we're not taking advantage of your fans. That's what you guys did during that Matter of Life and Death tour. After everyone already bought their fucking tickets. You're like, yeah, let's play our whole new shitty album and only play a medley of songs people actually came to see.
Yeah.
This whole song sounds like an intro to a song that never starts.
which is funny.
Welcome back, my friends, to the song that never ends.
No, it's a
like-
song that never starts.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a constant build-up, but you don't get hyped for it. You're just like, okay, when's it happening?
Is this what Godspeed You Black Emperor feels like to people who hate Godspeed You Black Emperor?
It literally sounds like it's yawning.
This is Iron Maiden's like morning stretch before they get into the actual stuff. But the actual stuff is Stratego.
Gijo, I've heard that song and it's good.
That is a good song. Yeah.
It's fucking trash.
Well, you're a fucking rash.
I think
Bold
I
and
heard
brash.
Stratego. I don't know if you played it in here, but I think I heard Stratego.
You didn't. We played the long one that was boring.
Writing on the
throw,
wall.
Throw a dart, but yeah, I think the writing on the wall.
Yeah, we played the long one that was boring. We haven't played the short one that's boring. And also, there's something I've yet to mention in any of these Change of Friends. All of us, in terms of our music tastes, we don't share that much. Like, there's only two bands all of us can agree on are good, and it's Suicidal Tendencies and the Sugar Cubes.
Yeah.
And even then, that's like varying degrees, because not all of us like love those bands.
Yeah, it's like from like to love. Wait, that and I think Joy Division.
Okay, now Iron Maiden are making Bionicle Rock.
Yeah, this is kind of fucking boring, honestly.
God, it took you 7.5 minutes.
I was gonna say.
This is one of the weakest openers.
No, this is one of those like victory lap openers where it's like, hey guys, hey, look at us, and like they expect to get by just because they're like Iron Maiden. They're this big popular band.
That whole 8-minute and 20-second song. Remember when Iron Maiden did something similar to that on the song Moonchild? Only it only lasted for like 30 seconds.
Oh, what a long time ago.
Honestly, the way this sounds right now, this should have been the opener. They shouldn't have cut the title track, of course. Maybe they could have, I don't know. But this sounds like an opener
Should have cut the entire album.
Well, yeah, but this sounds like an opener to what an Iron Maiden album would be if they wanted to, please fans, Like, fans are going to be...
Iron Maiden fans will love it just because it says Iron Maiden on it, so...
Well, yeah, like,
go.
I was about to say, like, Iron Maiden fans are going to love it no matter what, because it's new Iron Maiden. But, like, if you really want to make an impression with an album opener, and you're fucking Iron Maiden, you start with Stratego. You don't start with, like, a mid-tempo slog that never builds up to barely anything.
Even better yet, start with a good song.
I do not see what's so terrible about this song.
Oh, yeah!
Doesn't sound that bad.
Sure it does.
At least this has a memorable riff.
Yeah, it's a well-written song.
Over.
Yeah.
It's Maiden by numbers, dude. They made songs
It's
like this.
really
for the past
not.
10
Maiden by
years.
Numbers is just riffing on fucking C, D, and E over and over again.
Oh, just like it's like fucking dude. They made songs like this for the past 20 years. It's like Brave New World.
Keyboards,
Like-
the fucking Egyptian fucking riff in the beginning, the pinch harmonics, the
Yeah,
keyboards.
Maiden have never touched on Egyptian themes ever before.
Well, just because they
They've
did
never
something
done
at
that.
one point in time doesn't mean them doing it like again in a different way as them by numbers.
Well, the song in general just don't. It's got the stupid fucking gallop. It's got everything. It's got the.
Well, then how
Fucking
the
chorus.
fuck is a song like Wasted? In that case, then fucking a song like Wasted Years could also be called Maiden by Numbers.
Not really, because that's them bringing in synths, and even if it was them by numbers, at least then it was fresh. Here, it's just stale. It's like that stale piece of bread, and you're fucking it's stale piece of bread, but you bring it home and you take out to make a sandwich. It's like, oh, this is stale. I'll just go get another piece of bread. Oh, that's stale too. That's the equivalent of putting on a new Iron Maiden record.
Also, okay, even though the fact that Stratego is like a better opener than the actual opener, it still kind of goes for too long.
Yeah.
It's the shortest song on the album. It's like 5 minutes.
It's the shortest track.
Oh, this got to be a long one.
I'm just gonna say this right off the bat, like, I know I shit on the animation and compared it to a fucking Sturgill Simpson video before, but this animation isn't, like, I'll retract what I said. This isn't bad animation. It's just the way that Iron Maiden employs the animation later on in the video by mixing it with 3D and different frame rates and shit like that. It makes it look so disjointed and like the art styles just conflict with each other. And it doesn't have to be. They could have done everything in 2D animation like what's going on right now, but no, they had to be fucking boomers and not understand what makes animation look good. Like this right here, this is a good scene. But as we'll see further on in the video, it just breaks the fuck down.
Breaks the fourth wall.
Like that scorpion.
It sounds like a fucking Kansas song. It makes sense because similar to Kansas, late period Iron Maiden is just fake prog.
It sounds like an underproduced Sabaton song.
Oh my god,
fucking
Bruce sounds
Bruce.
very bad on this song.
Sounds like he's yawning.
This is what many people will consider to be like the greatest singer of all still living, folks. Keep that in mind. Like, and I'm the hugest Bruce Dickinson fan, but like, Jesus Christ, he kind of fell off.
God. You know what he sounds like?
But
He sounds like the fucking the fucking Family Guy parody of The Empire Strikes Back, where Peter, aka Han Solo, is like, "I'm gonna take my Don to go out and look for Luke. Oh, can't go outside. It's cold out there."
that is the most specific reference he maybe will ever make in here.
I can't stand this cold anymore. I'm gonna die.
Alright, we're getting to a part where it's like peak fucking like ass animation.
It's just Rick and Morty without the pickle, so it sucks.
Here we go.
Oh God!
Mmm. That is
Uh,
garish.
Here's the thing: the one time I did watch this video, I was just playing a video game. I wasn't paying attention to the actual video itself, so. Ugh.
If there's
Gross.
any viewers here who understand this, on Nickelodeon there was this show called Adventures of Iron Man or some shit like that.
Adventures
like an
of Iron
animated-
Maiden.
It was an Iron Man animated series where Iron Man was like a teenager or some shit because, you know, it's Nickelodeon. The 3D animation in that is quite similar to this, but it's more cartoony in that, and it actually works. Here, it doesn't work.
Oh my god. Fucking Eddie looks like a fucking PS2 fucking graphic design.
It doesn't look as bad as Dance of Death, I'll give it that.
That's like saying that fucking shitting out diarrhea is better than shitting out cum.
Sorry by Bruce Dickinson. You fucked up, Bruce.
Is the rest
Yeah.
of this fucking thing just credits?
I-
Nico's
Probably, yeah, fuck it.
I gotta know who the anime. Lost in a lost world.
He's a stranger in a strange land. I'd rather listen to that song. God fucking damn it.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me those two songs are connected.
I hope not.
that could be.
Not
Mm.
worthy.
Okay, because if it is connected, then for one, it's a terrible way to title your track, and if it's not connected, then it's a fucking terrible way to title your track.
When one of the characters from Lost gets lost.
I was thinking of the show Lost, yeah.
Okay, this is the better song by far.
So far, it isn't terrible. It's fine.
Why does it take a goddamn slow, mellow
Fucking-
song on an Iron Maiden album, something that I should hate the most, to be like one of the better songs so far? What the fuck is happening?
The fucking choral vocals, like, it sounds nice, but it sounds like synthetic almost.
Yeah, it sounds like they are half-assing it.
No, it sounds like a high school choir who are like just reading a piece of sheet music for the first time.
And fucking Fletcher comes in. We got an out-of-tune singer here.
Okay, let's play a game called Guess the Time Signature.
4/4.
1,
There's not going to be much odd time signatures on this album. It's fake prog.
4.
Yeah,
You're right, man. It's
Maiden never really did that.
There was like one odd time signature on fucking Empire in the Clouds. That's all I can recall off the top of my head.
What's that fucking term that some Pitchfork reviewer whoever used? Like pseudo-prog affectations?
That was Razor Fist.
While the pseudo-prog affectations of earlier work is still very much present here, this is where Judas Priest understood that there's no musical statement they can't make in under 4 minutes.
The fact that you know that whole quote is pretty bad.
Even though it's word salad, I mean, pseudo-prog affectations is a good way to describe Iron Maiden, even though it's originally about Judas Priest.
True.
Honestly, yeah, it's not fair. Yeah. Like, okay, I'm just gonna say this. Kevin Shirley, what the fuck, dude? Like, I didn't like you when you were with Dream Theater, and I really don't like you now.
I don't get why Maiden can't just listen to shit. Like, not even just listening to their own albums, but listening to criticisms of their own albums. I know the answer. I know it's because
they
they
get so
think
much
they're...
fucking praise. Because they get so much praise, and they think, oh, we must be doing really good since we're getting all this praise. Because every Iron Maiden album that comes out gets a 10 out of 10 from fucking Kerrang and Metal Hammer and all these shitty fucking publications. And all these shitty album reviewers rush to get their review out the second like they get their hands on the record, which is fucking bullshit.
Can we talk about that? Because, like, fucking, like, the album leaked, like, I think 2 or 3 days before it released, and already there were people, like, reviewing that album. And the thing about reviewing an album is that...
Bottom feeder
could-
content. Bottom feeder.
No, you could listen to an album in a day, or you can listen to an album multiple times in a day. An album's not that long, unless it's this album. But, like,
Yeah.
you don't just, like, do a day 1 or day 2, I guess, full-on structured
But how
review
else
of the
are they gonna get their sweet AdSense?
This song is fucking garbage. Holy shit. That guitar melody was as loud as the vocals. Like, this sucks.
No, that guitar riff was fine.
Again, a lot of these problems have to do with the mixing. And, like, I don't want to get, like, too passionate about mixing and dominate the entire fucking video with my rants on mixing, supported by James's own rants on mixing. But, like, it's... we would be, like, running in circles if we were to list, like, the source of all problems on this album, because it inevitably comes back to the mixing. The writing's not bad for an Iron Maiden album so far, but, like, it's just how it sounds. It's how it's produced, how it's mixed, how it's non-mastered. I don't know how Iron Maiden just gets a pass for that, and I don't know how they give their producer a pass for that. Like, it kind of just...
You know how they get a pass on it, and you know what I'm gonna say, because it says Iron Maiden on it.
Yeah...
I can't even argue against her. That is very true. I mean, look at fucking Booker. It's the best thing in the book since the 80s.
Okay, guys, here's the thing. I think... Okay, this is just from quick fucking Wikipediaing. I'm pretty sure the last Iron Maiden album to be mastered, according to Wikipedia, because there's no mastering credits on any of the albums after this. I think the last one was Brave New World.
Ooh.
That makes sense.
Because that's their last good album.
Yeah.
Brave New World, which came out in 2001. When?
2000.
Years ago.
20 years ago. 21 years ago.
2000?
Yeah.
Okay, right. But still, 20 years ago, dude.
Also, they've used that exact fucking guitar melody before on one of their songs. It was on one of their newer albums too.
Oh, it's reincorporation!
Whoa, it's not like Iron Maiden have been basing most of their songs on the same 3 power chords since their inception, Nathan.
I'm talking a specific fucking melody in like one of the... It was on one of the songs in A Matter of Life and Death. The Legacy. It was The Legacy.
Days of Future Past. Did they steal this fucking title from an X-Men movie?
No, I feel like the title goes back further than that. It's probably some book or some shit.
I still love that Henry Rollins clip. Sure, you gotta add a clip of Henry Rollins fucking making fun of Iron Maiden, because that's just classic.
Yeah, right, man. We write songs about books we've read, right? I mean, we're not stupid, man. We don't write songs about like cars and girls and whatnot. We write songs about real things like books. Like a song we wrote called Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, right? Alone, alone, all alone, alone on a wide, wide sea. Hey!
He's not even hitting the right note.
Yeah, he's
Wow, he sounds worse than ever right now.
He's not even going high enough. Like, it's not even for a matter of... It's not even for a matter of half-assing it. It's clear that he can't do it.
I'm getting Final Frontier vibes from this. This is fucking garbage. This sounds like Final Frontier.
This is the worst vocal performance Bruce Dickinson has ever given.
I thought that, like, having, like... Okay, it's not even that much, but I thought having, like, 2 beers would make this album sound better, and it still sounds bad.
I like how, like, their attempt at being dynamic by doing a quiet part is literally just the exact same shit, but just at a lower volume.
Not even a lower volume. The way the thing is mixed is that it brings it up to volume with, like, everything else. So any so-called quiet part is just a part where less instruments are playing.
Like
or
that's
less
like the
intensity.
kind of shit that you expect from like a corny ass 2000s pop punk band.
The only thing is, at least on the pop punk band, it'll actually be mixed decently well.
They write songs that know when to end.
That song was just fucking repeating a chorus over and over and over again for like 5 minutes.
Hey, welcome to Iron Maiden. Enjoy your stay. The Time Machine. You know, I'd probably actually rather listen to the Blood on the Dance Floor song Time Machine than this.
Ooh, damn.
He sounds like he's trying to sound like a mix of Blaze Bayley, Robert Plant, and Ozzy Osbourne all at once, and it sounds like this evil fucking
Gross.
muck.
The way that he keeps like, the way that the volume of his voice keeps shifting. Yeah, I like this riff.
It better not repeat.
Yeah, they'll repeat it again and again. Whenever Bruce tries to do lower vocals, there's like no power in his voice, so it just shakes like milk and it sounds like shit. When he tries to hit high notes, he strains and it sounds like shit.
It shakes like a cup of jello.
What is this chorus?
He almost sounds nasally.
Is this a chorus? I think this is a pre-chorus.
Yeah, it was
That's a chorus. God damn it!
Why is he singing? He sounds like he's singing a limerick.
Okay, this is a stretch, but you know what this riff reminds me of? Remember
What?
back when we were kids, laughing about the things we did? God. Iron Maiden has both reminded me of Blood on the Dance Floor and Corey Feldman, all in one song.
We at the James and Friends Corporation are not responsible for the opinions of some of its respective members. Druid's beliefs are merely his own.
This is why Nathan is just like puking his guts up in the toilet right now.
Yeah, he's making a shit vomit shish kebab. This is just evolving into like bodily fluid jokes. This is what this album's done to us.
Fuck you, Steve Harris. That little guitar line going, it sounds like Sign of the Cross. Not this one, but like a little bit before. Well, kind of, but it sounds like Sign of the Cross.
Wow, this song is... What the fuck?
Hey, look, I love Korn.
They don't care about us. All I want to say is
my
that they
God.
don't really care about us.
It does sound like that. Holy shit.
Time for Fred Durst to hop on the mic.
Fucking solo is so boring.
It's boring, but it's not like Kerry King soloing, at least.
It's a very low bar. You know what's funny? Was it like on the last James and Friends, we got like a 90% fucking like to dislike ratio on an album everybody hates. For this, what do we think we're gonna get? Fucking I think maybe 70 to 80.
We're gonna get 30% likes and like 70% dislikes, but all the
Yeah.
comments are gonna be, "Hey, I respect your opinion, man, but I personally really like this album. It sounds like Maiden back to form."
You know what's funny is that the whole "this is Maiden back to form." Iron Maiden fans say that about literally every fucking new album they put out.
This is called Darkest Hour, and at 7 and almost a half minutes, we will see if it truly is the darkest quote-unquote hour, even though it only lasts 7.5 minutes. I feel like the only concept with this album is that Eddie went to Japan once, and now he came back with all this like souvenir shit, and he thinks he's a modern-day samurai who can take on any cop that dare oppose him in the
I
Walmart.
want a fucking Steve Harris. Please put out an Eddie full-size body pillow. You know they're all the main fans are gonna buy it.
It's a fucking like... Oh, what did he say? Find out in the next episode of James and Friends. Only on Kids WB.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, it's like those the endings of like the old Batman 60 series episodes. Like, how will Batman and his boy Wonder get out of this pickle? Find out next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
How will Iron Maiden salvage this album? Find out sometime.
How will Bruce Dickinson salvage his career?
Who is Cartman's real father?
Will Iron Maiden ever release a good album again? No.
You know what I want to do? I want to slap a reverb pedal on this album.
Dude, honestly, a little bit of reverb would go a long way. Sometimes you just gotta stare angrily at your pedal board.
Sometimes you just gotta be full-on Kevin Shields and just go...
More Kevin Shields, less Kevin Shirley.
Holy fuck, this song
Yes.
is so boring. This is like Wasting Love, but bad.
Wasting Love was already bad. Hot take.
What's gonna be a common complaint with these videos is that people will be like, whoa, this is supposed to be your first reaction. Like, assuming we do more first reactions, they're gonna be like, whoa, this is your first reaction and you're just talking over it. You're not actually listening to the thing and finding out the substance behind the
Here's the
lyrics.
thing. Here's the thing. I'm not okay. Nathan will probably hear it in his own time afterwards. Caleb maybe, probably not. Here's the thing. If I wasn't doing this in a watch together like this, bullshitting around, I just wouldn't listen to it. If I wasn't doing it like this, I would not listen to it.
Like, something to know about me, I don't listen to Iron Maiden and other classic metal acts because they do not appeal to me. Like, I would not get much meaning from this shit. So the
And
reason
even then,
why
if I want to listen to Iron Maiden, I will listen to like something from the 80s. And that's it. Oh god, this song's 10 minutes.
Yeah, here we start the section of the album where it just goes on for way too fucking long, and it's gonna have another fucking Angel and the Gambler moment somewhere in here.
You mean we weren't already at that before?
This is the Klansman Part 2. This reminds me so much of the Klansman.
Bruce probably is a member of the clan, let's be honest here.
I'd rather... No.
No, don't say that.
Whatever you're about to say, fucking stop yourself.
I do not... Listen, censoring things, I will accept.
Watch the... No, I can't say that either.
No, just stop. I like to think that Disc 2 is B-sides, because this sounds like everything before, like the exact same, except it wouldn't have made the cut for the main album because all the songs were quote-unquote too long.
Everything about this is completely unremarkable.
The note that Nathan made at the beginning about this sounding like the Klansman, that would probably be the only note that anybody could really make about this song right now. Like, in terms of general, like they can label, oh, I like this part where the riff goes da 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 da, like it's doing right now.
Wait, this riff sounds like shitty Zelda music.
But like fucking okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. Anyways, like, in terms of, like, just comparing it to other songs, that's really all this album has going for it, is like, oh, this sounds like this song that they've done in the past. Oh, this sounds like this song they've done in the past. It's basically
That's
like
true,
a musical version.
Peter Griffin in the fucking movie theater, like, they did it!
It's like a musical version of, okay, I like this movie, but it's a musical version of Jay and Silent Bob's Strike, like, Return or some shit like that. Reboot.
Back.
Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Well, Reboot is not a good movie, but okay.
It's the Space Jam 2 of metal.
Oh, that's hard.
If all this album has going for it is just kind of revisiting old concepts that made Iron Maiden appealing to its fans in the modern day, then it's not a good album on its own. If you use other albums to support your current album, your album can't stand on its own. If this album had nothing to compare itself to, then what would it have?
I'm in a genuinely shitty mood.
I could tell.
Because this album won't end, and I'm tired.
Yeah, this album isn't really giving us too much to work with. That's why we're going on tangents.
Yeah, I can't even have fun shitting on this album.
Honestly, like, most of it is, like, really painful middle of the...
Yeah, it's not even like, it's not like fucking Generation Swine or Crazy Nights, where it's, like, outright fucking horrible, so it's really easy to shit on. It's just painfully fucking boring and mundane.
I know I've had like multiple rants before, but like the reason like I didn't necessarily have fun talking about all the things that were wrong on the album. Like, if I had fun talking about all the things that were wrong on the album, this would be a different album. This would be like fucking Injustice to the core. Like, you could have like a whole essay of things wrong with that album. But this album, the only things it does wrong are the things that it doesn't do. What it does is just the milquetoast. And that's it. That's all it gives us.
Milquetoast metal.
Yeah, that's Iron Maiden now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milquetoast metal. It's butter scraped over too much bread.
When I was last year, me and Nathan bought to see Maiden on their greatest hits tour, Legacy of the Beast. Well, it's not even that. It's their tour based on their shitty fucking mobile game. And but anyway, it's a greatest hits set list. There wasn't too much new stuff. And so me and Nathan were gonna go. Then the coronavirus happened. And then the tour canceled. It didn't even get postponed. It got canceled. Straight up canceled. And now the next time they come around, it's gonna be in support of this fucking album. And they're gonna play nothing but shit from nothing but shit from this album, and now I'm probably not gonna buy a ticket. So I'm very upsetty spaghetti.
They'll play at least half of this album live. And you know what, I want to make a point actually, earlier. Because Caleb, I know you said that me and Druid were probably gonna fight a lot. Honestly, Maiden is my favorite band and everything, but I unironically agree with Druid's criticisms.
Maiden fans, no telling what they'll think of this album, because I don't listen
They
to
love
Maiden
it.
fans.
They love
But,
it.
shut up. I want to live in bliss. Anyways, I want to think that Iron Maiden will find that demand for these songs on this album are just not as good as their classics. Like, of course it'll happen. Of course fans will always want the classics played
They've
live.
been finding that ever since the fucking mid-2000s, and it has made no difference. You're being naively optimistic.
Well, here's the thing with Maiden. Ever since the start of their career, whenever they go out on tours, especially even in the 80s, they always played a lot of stuff from a lot of new material in each tour, even back in the 80s and everything. Only thing is, in the 80s, people didn't mind because they were making classic records. Nowadays, not so much, which is why people complain about it. But their attitudes on it never really changed. Like, that's the thing, you know?
This is a band, like, in fucking, I believe it was the Matter of Life and Death tour, like, they were playing some bullshit from that album, and people were like,
They played the entire album.
Yeah, people were chanting play the hits, and a guy was holding a sign that said play the hits. Bruce Dickinson took the sign and ripped it up in front of the fucking crowd as they continued to play that boring, plodding, pretentious, bloated piece of utter crap. That's what this band is.
And the thing that pisses me off about that, they could have, like, advertised, we're playing the whole album, like, and it's saying at least warn people before they bought tickets. But no, they waited until after everybody bought tickets, then they did it. It's like, fuck you, man. Fuck you.
I've never been to a concert before. I'm gonna say that, and I know it's a blasphemous thing to say. I've never been to a concert before. If you're gonna go to a show, don't they at least have a set list before you go? Like, in most cases?
Not really. Well, it depends. If they're already on the tour, you can look up, like, Setlist FM or whatever and see what they were playing the night before. Like, and sometimes bands stick to it to a T. But even then, this happened in, like, 2006. And even then, like, I had a friend who saw that tour on the first night. On the first night, he saw that tour. And, like, he was so psyched to hear all his favorite songs, and they played nothing but the new album. And he never went to see Iron Maiden ever again. And that same friend, I saw he post on Facebook the other day, and I quote, "Who the fuck mixed the new Iron Maiden album?"
This song, honestly, this song has gone absolutely fucking nowhere. Holy shit. But,
I mean, the name of the song rings true. I'm parched for good material.
But yeah, anyways, as I was gonna say, for some reason, Iron Maiden have, like, an antagonism towards, like, American audiences or some shit. Like, they don't like America or some shit.
They don't play Flight of Icarus. They don't play Flight of Icarus anymore. Well, they only just started playing it again, like, last tour. Like their biggest charting song and one of their biggest hits, they just didn't play for, like, 20 years. And, like,
Why did they not play that one?
probably, I think it's mainly just because it was a big song in America.
Like, they've said before that, like, they don't like playing in America because they think American audiences are dumb because, oh, they only want the hits.
Yeah, because because the thing is also something else. And everywhere in every other market in Europe, Asia, and everything, Maiden sell way more tickets. They do way better than they do in America. But in America, they just don't do as well. So that's
Yeah, I
kind of
wonder
part of
why.
it, right? Yeah, it's kind of resentment.
Well, I don't know. I mean, stereotypes do exist for a reason, and I think American fans generally do ask for more hits, and that's why Maiden just don't want to do it. Because if Maiden are really as like
You
pretentious,
think the
and
fucking? I mean, like,
No.
it's like, do you think beer drinking fucking hillbillies in Texas really want to hear this 18 minutes of fucking Empire of the Clouds? No, they want to hear 2 minutes to midnight. They want to hear Prowler. They want to hear Rap Child. They don't want to hear any of this new prog bullshit.
Okay, but like on that topic, like I'm not even talking about the stereotypes of Americans in general. I'm just talking about the stereotypes of like Iron Maiden fans in America. Like they would often ask for the hits because they want to hear that Glory Day sound, you know? And Iron Maiden, like I'm sure Iron Maiden and everybody involved in the writing want to move forward with their work. They want to like focus on their newer material because that's what a band does when they release new material. They want to focus on that. They want to bring something new. And American audiences just tend to not really like that. And it's not even just for metal band fans or metalheads. It's for every act out there. Like, you'll go to a concert and the set list will be populated with hits from different albums and different EPs than the one that they're currently promoting. I mean, like I said before, I've never been to a concert, but I think pragmatically speaking, a band should play some hits if they want to attract people
I
to a
agree.
show.
Yeah.
Like,
The reason why... Because on the Matter of Life Death Tour, they only played a medley of their hits. A medley. It was like Fear of the Dark, the song Iron Maiden, and I think Running Free. I could be wrong, but it was like a medley of 3 songs.
This is coming from somebody who is not a fan of Maiden, who actively hates a lot of Maiden songs, who thinks that there are no good Maiden songs. I really think Maiden are taking themselves seriously to a point where they're just disregarding their fans entirely. And I mean, it's not even a thing that I think it is, it's just a fact, because if they don't play any hits on their tours, if they only play new stuff that people aren't as familiar with...
They don't just play new stuff, but a good portion of it is. Like, more than just about any other band, you know? Sure, they'll probably play Rap Child or The Evil That Men Do and Wasted Years and stuff, but it's like, it's a very... It's a small part of their set list, really.
I know the way to go with the answers to all these problems is like Caleb's nihilistic take that Iron Maiden are just gonna be Iron Maiden and that's all they do. I want to believe otherwise. Like, as somebody who hates this band and all the output they do, I want to believe that Iron Maiden can at least pick up the pace and actually like see some pragmatic sense as to what they do, not even just on tour, but on albums. But like, eventually it's just gonna come full circle to the point that they're Iron Maiden, they can do what they want, and they're gonna do what they want to do, and fuck anybody who has a critical mind about it, because the fans are there, and the fans are always gonna eat it up. And it's not even anything bad about the fans, because fans are gonna enjoy a band's content. It's just, Iron Maiden aren't necessarily... I wouldn't say they're past their... Are they past their prime, Caleb?
Yeah.
Like, would you say...
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, a long time ago, yeah. Maiden have not put out a great album since the year 2000, so...
Even that album, like, Brave New World is good, but it's not as good as... I'll take fucking the weakest of their 80s stuff over that album.
You know what Maiden should do, honestly? You know how Metallica does the, Metallica Live by Request? Where they get, like, fans to pick songs? Maiden should do that, honestly. They'd have a lot more variety in their fucking set list.
They're not gonna do that.
I mean, yeah, they won't, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that, but, like, they should. You know what I mean?
We can dream, god dang it! Yeah, but at least the thing is with, like, Metallica is, like, the thing I like about, like, modern Metallica sets is, like, they have an all-encompassing set. You know, they play a good amount of the new stuff, but they rely heavily on the old stuff, because they know that's what people want to hear. Oh, god dang it, Bruce, that voice.
Oh yeah, I forgot this album's still playing.
Yeah, so did I.
Same.
Anyways.
None of us even made a comment on the name of the song.
Last statement. I think one of the ultimate pitfalls of being a metal band like Iron Maiden is that eventually, no matter what path you choose, you're gonna be stuck up your own ass. And they are doing it in like the most bland, uncreative way. You could be like Dream Theater, where you're stuck up your own ass, but at least you're making interesting shit. But no, you're just making the shit that smells the same as the last shit you took with Iron Maiden.
So far, this song isn't.
This song
as
isn't
bad
too
as it could.
bad.
It isn't as bad as it could be.
Yeah, his vocal
Ah!
performance. His fucking yeah. I wonder who did this solo. His vocal performance on this track is actually kind of alright, except for when he hits the fucking high note.
Okay, I get this is disc 2, but like, and this is the end of the album technically, but why did it have to be so goddamn long running to get to this moment in the track list?
Because the album doesn't want to go away, so it has to be pushed out kicking and screaming.
Worst part about this, I couldn't even give it a 0, because a 0 implies that there's nothing redeeming about it. Iron Maiden is so middle of the road that they can't even sink to, like, absolute bad territory.
For me, this is like a 3 or a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, this is like a
It's
5.
like a 5 for me.
Yeah.
Like, we've been so negative towards this album, but it's only because of things that Iron Maiden did not do.
And the funny thing is, I'll get some people commenting like, why is it Dreams of Friends? Why couldn't you just make an album review? You know how many times I listen to a new album, like, before I do a review of it? Like, at least 10, 15 times. I don't want to do that for this album.
Right.
I don't want to do that. Like, dude, like, anybody upset that I'm doing it this way, you're lucky you're even getting this.
I mean, hey, on the bright side...
Know your place.
Yeah.
On the bright side, though, if any of us listen to this album again and just, like, hear it for what it is, it'll still be a bad album. But maybe hearing the lyrics, maybe hearing the riffs more in-depth, despite the bad production, maybe there's something here. But just on a first impression, this is just bland as fuck.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
I'm mad.
Well, yeah, you're in a really fucking salty mood,
I
Caleb.
actually kind of thought this album would be alright. Like, one of the 2 songs that came out was actually pretty good, in my opinion, at least.
That's why you never get your hopes up. Always leave them at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, believe me, I've figured that out. I understand that.
There's like maybe 2 or 3 songs I'd go back to often. That's it.
I don't have any burning desire to go back to anything on here.
Yeah, I don't see myself.
This album's just this album's a fucking black hole, and I want to stay away from it.
This album is like when you, like, decide you're not going to take a shower for the night because you need to save on your water bill, and you crawl into your bed, but your bed smells heavily of BO, and you know you have to work the next day, but you still can't take a shower, so you have to lay in your bed that smells like absolute ass.
And then you wake up the next day and you realize you have no deodorant to mask your horrible stench. You have no choice but to go out and fucking let everybody endure your fucking smell.
Listening to this album is the musical equivalent of walking around in the summer weather after having not showered for 2 days. So the fucking sweat mixes with the fucking grease and you just feel absolutely awful and you stink.
Steve, you stink. Have a shower. Hit the showers, boys. Hit the showers, boys.
You're like the fucking guy on this fucking flag.
Grr.
I'm gonna take him by his stupid antlers and rip the fucking skull and fuck Iron Maiden.
If you want an actual good metal album from a legacy band, fucking Firepower.
I was gonna say that as well.
Firepower,
Yeah,
Life Sentence by Satan.
We can all agree that Firepower is a great-ass album.
Even the last Metallica record was better than this.
At least Hardwired had Spit Out the Bone.
Shit.
Bye, guys. Don't listen to this album.
That was Stool.